It is Sunday after supper. I turn to the sink, and there it is. The cast-iron pot I made the stew in with a black ring of burnt-on food, crusted around the bottom that no amount of dish soap and scrubbing is going to lift. The pan from the bacon this morning with grease cooked into the corners that the regular wash will not touch. The roasting tin from Saturday's chicken with the dark, sticky bits that have hardened to the metal like glue. 2 hours of standing at the sink, hot water running, fingernails breaking, and at the end of it, half the pots are still not clean, and the other half have scratches in them from where I scrubbed too hard. You walk into any grocery store in this country, and the cleaning aisle has the answer. Bottles of branded oven cleaner, cans of foaming pot scrubber, jugs of degreaser, bags of scouring powder, special sponges, special pads, special sprays. $8 here, $12 there, $4 for a single can that lasts a month. A working kitchen runs through $40, $50 of branded cleaners a year, and most of them are some version of the same simple chemistry dressed up in a fancy bottle with a brand name on it. Now I want you to sit with this. There is a paste you can mix in a bowl in your own kitchen in 2 minutes with 4 ingredients you almost certainly already have in the pantry that costs about $1 to make, that fills a container which will last you many months, and that does every single one of those jobs. Strips burnt pots, lifts cooked on grease, shines stainless steel, scours the sink, cleans the inside of the microwave, scrubs the bathroom fixtures, even brings the shine back to your silverware. 1 paste, 4 ingredients, $1 replaces a whole shelf of branded products. The recipe is not new. It was not invented by me. I got it from my mother, who got it from a hotel housekeeper friend of the family. The housekeepers and the kitchen workers in restaurants have been using this same recipe, and recipes very like it, for generations because they clean 100 pots a shift on a tight budget. The hotel kitchens use it. The diner kitchens use it. The farmhouse kitchens use it. Everywhere a person has had a lot of dishes to clean and not a lot of money to spend on fancy cleaners, the same kind of recipe has shown up. My name is Emily. I am Amish, and I farm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I'm sharing this today not because I'm supposed to, but because I'm tired of watching folks struggle and spend money they don't have to. There are things we're not meant to keep secret, and this is one of them. The world has gotten so complicated, with a bottle for this and a spray for that we've forgotten the simple ways that worked for generations. I believe knowledge like this belongs to everyone, not locked up on a grocery store shelf. So today, I'm going to walk you through the recipe, the 4 simple ingredients, the exact ratios, the chemistry that makes it work, the safety word that matters before you mix it, and the 8 different jobs in your house this one little jar of paste will handle. I use it 3 or 4 times a week. I have not bought a branded scouring product in a long time. Let me first tell you the chemistry, because once you understand why the 4 ingredients work together, you will not need to memorize the recipe. You will just know it. The job of any cleaner is to do 4 things at once: break up grease, lift dirt off the surface, scrub away what is stuck, and rinse clean. The branded cleaners do all 4 jobs with a mix of detergents, abrasives and softeners wrapped in fragrances and dyes to make the bottle pretty. This old housekeeper's recipe does the same 4 jobs with 4 pantry ingredients, plain and unfancy. Dish detergent is the grease lifter. It is what they call a surfactant. It grabs onto the oils and fats and holds them in the water so they rinse away instead of clinging back to the pot. Any plain dish soap works. Dawn, Palmolive, Joy, the store brand, they are all surfactants with different smells. The one in your bottle is fine. Salt is the gentle abrasive. Small crystals scrub the surface without scratching it the way steel wool would. The salt finds the stuck-on burnt food and physically lifts it off as you rub. And this is the part most folks do not know. Salt dissolves slowly as you scrub. By the time you are finished, the salt is gone. There is no powdery residue to rinse away. It does its work and then disappears. Baking soda is the alkaline grease cutter. When grease is just slick on a surface, the detergent handles it. But when grease has been heated and cooked into a hard layer, the burnt ring around the bottom of the stew pot, the cooked-on grease at the edges of the bacon pan, The heat has changed the chemistry of the grease, and you need something alkaline to break it back apart. Baking soda is exactly that. It quietly turns the cooked-on grease back into something the soap and the salt can lift off. It is also a natural deodorizer, which is why the same baking soda absorbs the smell in your icebox. Warm water is the carrier. It thins the paste enough to spread and is hot enough to help the chemistry work, but not so much that the paste runs off the surface before it has time to do its job. Together, the four of them do exactly what a $15 bottle of branded pot scrubber does: lift, break, scrub, rinse, in the same order with the same result. Now let me give you the exact recipe. Here is the parts list. Total cost for one batch, about $1. 1 cup of plain liquid dish detergent, any brand. The cheap one at the dollar store works just as well as the expensive one with the lemon scent. 1 cup of warm water, not hot, not cold, warm, about the temperature of a baby's bath. The warmth helps the baking soda activate and helps the paste mix smoothly. 2 tablespoons of plain table salt, the cheap kind. You do not need sea salt or kosher salt or anything fancy. Plain iodized table salt from a box for 99 cents at the grocery store is exactly what the old housekeepers used. 1 tablespoon of baking soda. A small box at the grocery store costs about $1 and lasts forever. Make sure it is baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, not baking powder, which is a different thing. The orange box, the kind everyone keeps in the icebox. That is the whole list. 4 ingredients. Most kitchens have all 4 already. Here is how to mix it. I will tell it slow. Take a clean bowl big enough to hold about 2 cups of liquid. Glass or ceramic is best. Pour in the cup of liquid dish detergent. Add the cup of warm water. Stir gently. Too vigorous, and you will whip up a head of suds you do not need. You just want them blended. Add the 2 tablespoons of salt. Stir it in. The salt may not fully dissolve. That is fine. The small crystals are doing their job as the abrasive. Some grains will dissolve as you mix. Some will stay, giving the paste its gentle scrubbing power. Add the 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Stir it in slowly. The baking soda may foam slightly when it meets the water and detergent. That is just air being released. Nothing to worry about. Keep stirring until the foam settles, and you have a smooth, slightly thick, pearly-looking paste. That is your cleaner. Pour it into a clean glass jar with a lid. A leftover pickle jar works perfectly, washed out with the label off. Put the lid on tight. Store it under your sink. That single jar of paste will last you many months of daily cleaning. My jar lasts about 2 or 3 months of regular use, and I cook every meal at home. Now the safety word plainly, because this matters, and a person could hurt themselves if they did not know it. The one safety word with this recipe, and with every homemade cleaning recipe, is never mix it with bleach. Not the recipe in the jar, not the surface you are cleaning, not the rinse water afterward. Never. Here is why. Bleach mixed with any cleaning product that contains ammonia, vinegar, or certain alkaline compounds releases chlorine gas, a poison gas that has killed people in their own kitchens. It is not theoretical. Every year there are real news stories of folks who poured bleach into a sink that still had another cleaner in it, and the gas overcame them in seconds. This recipe by itself does not contain bleach and is safe. But if you keep a bottle of bleach under your sink, and most folks do, be very careful that you never use this homemade cleaner on a surface that has just been bleached. And never store the jar of paste near the bleach bottle. And never pour any of the paste down a drain right after pouring bleach down that same drain. Use one at a time. Rinse thoroughly between them. This is the same kind of basic chemical care you would give to any household cleaner. Treat it with respect. Keep the paste jar up high out of reach of children. Same shelf you keep the dish soap and the laundry pods on, and you will have no trouble. Common sense around chemicals is the same with the homemade recipe as it is with the branded ones. That is the safety word. Mind it. Now, let me show you the 8 jobs this one jar handles in our kitchen and bathroom, in the rough order I use it through my week. 1. Burnt pots and pans. This is the headline use and where the paste truly shines. Spoon a generous tablespoon of paste onto the burnt area of the pot. Add just enough warm water to wet it. Let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes. Go do something else. Do not stand over it. Come back, scrub with a sponge or a soft brush, and watch the burnt ring come off. Most pots I treat this way come clean in one round. The very worst, the bottom of the stew pot when I forgot it on the wood stove, take a second treatment. A pot that the branded scouring powder could not handle, this paste lifts in 15 minutes. 2. Cooked on grease. The bacon pan, the roasting tin, the cast iron. When it needs a deep clean, spread the paste on the grease. Let it sit a few minutes. Scrub it off. The baking soda breaks the cooked grease. The salt lifts the residue. The detergent rinses everything clean. 3. The kitchen sink. Sprinkle paste around the sink. Scrub with a sponge. Rinse. Stainless steel sinks come back to a shine. Porcelain sinks brighten and stop holding the grey cleaning residue. Once a week, and the sink looks like the day it was put in. 4. The stove top around the burners where spatters cook on. A small amount of paste on a cloth. Scrub gently. Wipe with a damp rag. The cooked-on spots lift right off. Do not use the paste on the inside of a gas burner head. That is a separate cleaning. But the cooktop surface, the trays around the burners, the backsplash, all the paste's territory. 5. The inside of the microwave. Spatters and dried food on the inside walls. A dab of paste on a damp sponge. Wipe gently, then wipe down with a clean, wet cloth to rinse. Easier than the special microwave cleaners and cheaper. 6. Plastic plates and cups stained from oil or sauce. The orange stain from spaghetti sauce on a plastic container. The greasy film inside a plastic bowl that the dishwasher did not lift. A small amount of paste scrubbed in and rinsed off brings the plastic back nearly to new. 7. Silverware and stainless steel utensils that have gone dull. Forks and spoons that have lost their shine over time. Paste on a soft cloth. Gentle rub. Rinse with warm water. Dry with a soft cloth. The shine comes back. 8. The bathroom. Sink, tub, tile around the fixtures. Same as the kitchen sink. Sprinkle, scrub, rinse. Removes soap scum. Brightens porcelain. Deodorizes drains. 8 jobs, 1 jar, $1. Now I want to take a moment because this is where it all comes together. Look at what we have just walked through. 4 ingredients you already have. 2 minutes to mix. $1 worth of pantry staples. A jar of paste that lasts you months. 8 separate household jobs, handled with the same one cleaner. The cleaning aisle at the grocery store has at least 8 different branded products you would otherwise buy to do these same jobs. Pot scrubber, oven cleaner, stainless steel polish, multi-surface spray, microwave cleaner, sink shine, silverware polish, bathroom cleaner. $3 to $5 each, $40 worth of products replaced by one $1 jar. And the homemade version works as well as any of them, with none of the harsh fumes, the coloured dyes, the perfumed sprays that make folks with sensitive lungs cough. There is no money in teaching folks how to mix 4 pantry ingredients into a paste that replaces a whole shelf of products. There was a great deal of money in selling $40 of separate branded cleaners every spring. So the chemistry sits in the kitchen and nobody runs a commercial saying, "Look in your own pantry first." They run commercials with sparkling kitchens and white-clothed actors holding the bottle. And a whole nation spends $40 on cleaners every spring when their grandmothers spent 50 cents. My mother taught me this recipe. My mother got it from a hotel housekeeper. The hotel housekeeper had been mixing it for 40 years before she taught it to a young farm wife who needed a cleaner she could afford. That is how the knowledge actually passes from working hands to working hands, one kitchen at a time. The bottles on the shelf are just the version that got loud enough to be remembered. You can be the one who remembers the old version. So, here is what I want you to do this week. Mix 1 batch of the paste. The whole job takes 2 minutes. Pour it into a clean jar. Label it so nobody mistakes it for something else, and put it under the sink. Next time you have a burnt pot, and there will be one, there always is, do not reach for the branded scrubber. Spoon a tablespoon of the paste onto the burnt ring. Add a splash of warm water. Let it sit while you go do something else for 15 minutes and come back to scrub. Watch what comes off. The first time you see a pot come clean that you thought was ruined, you will not go back to the branded cleaners. Then start using the paste on the other jobs as they come up. The sink, the stovetop, the microwave, the bathroom. Within a month, you will have replaced the whole cleaning aisle with one jar under your sink, and my mother's recipe will be back in your kitchen where it belongs. Tell me in the comments below, what is the worst burnt pot you have ever had to scrub, the one you almost threw away? And do you have an old recipe from your own grandmother or your mother that does what the store cleaners do? Share it. The little family recipes are exactly the kind of knowledge that disappears when nobody writes them down. And the comments on this video are how we save them. I read every single one. Next time, since we have been speaking of how to keep a clean kitchen with what is already in your pantry, I'm going to show you the old way my people make their own bar soap from scratch. The lye, the lard, the seasoning, the cutting, the curing, so a household can wash itself for years on what costs the English family $10 a month at the grocery store. It is the natural next step after today. Until then, mix the paste, fill the jar, and remember that the cheapest cleaner in your kitchen is almost always the oldest one, waiting for you to remember how to mix it.